here comes to another episode of CEO Talk Show. Fintech has got the opportunity to see how different leaders in our nation adopted the digitization trend in their work environment. So today I have the pleasure of speaking with Mr. Mevan Gunatileke, CEO of Sanken Overseas. So as the CEO of an international construction company, let's hear what Mr. Mevan has to say. So very good evening to you, sir.
Yeah, good evening.
Okay, so let's move on with the questions. So my first question will be, how did your organization sustain during the lockdown period?
Yeah, so like all the other companies, we also had a lot of issues up front because we were not expecting this to happen, especially. But however, we were sort of business practices we had, we were equipped to handle situations remotely because even in our business, most of our projects are overseas, so we handle them remotely in Colombo. So that we could manage that sort of similar concept we could do from home. So those following those principles helped us to manage the work from home. This is a novel experience for us as well, which we haven't done before.
Okay, so since the past few months been very challenging, right? So how did your organization carry out the projects? Because most of the projects are overseas, right? And yes. How do you tackle the ongoing projects?
The one simple answer to that would be technology, because same thing had happened to us about 10-15 years ago. We would have been in a much worse situation than we were this time. So thanks to technology and availability of access to internet even in remote locations, we managed to handle the projects remotely. And also a lot of activities like meetings, conferencing, and even sort of workshops like workshops, etc. We do, which we normally do face to face. We managed to do it, on a virtual interface, thanks to different softwares like Google, etc.
Okay. So basically, what were the resources which you used to help to digitize your organization during the lockdown period?
So actually, the funny thing is, we have processed these equipment, tools with us. Sort of one example is the Google Suite, and then certain other features of the ERP system we use. But we've never had used them properly. So actually, this is a good eye-opener for us. During the period, we realized how to get maximum use from the these digital tools that we already have access to, but we have not really used before.
Right. So in your organization, I hope almost everyone is they are they are very well they're hands-on with all the products in this way.
I won't say yes to that, especially us coming from construction, being a construction company. So we have a very sort of a wide spectrum of employees with their sort of literacy with this internet and technology. But however, this even like a very so we have a similarity between our lowest entry level grades, which may be like at the sort of storekeeper level, and the very highest level, very senior management.
Okay.
These softwares before, but the softwares have been developed to a certain level now that within a week or so everyone managed to get used to it. Like what they're using right now, like the Google Suite, is very plug and play. There's nothing to install or anything, and
Yeah.
very user friendly. So people, I think, got used to it very, very quickly. So.
Right. So it would have been a nightmare if digitization was not in place, right? So what are your thoughts on this, Mr. Mevan?
Yeah, it was to an extent a nightmare even with digitization. So without it,
Yeah.
but definitely, as I told you, because of all the digital assets we had, whether it be software or ERPs or other systems we had in place, we managed to overcome the situation much better. And also, goes on to say, since we are a company a lot overseas, so we managed to connect well with our overseas partners and other stakeholders as well. So usually we overseas travel to make it happen, but we managed to do it, through etc.
Okay. So, as the CEO of Sanken Overseas, like a great responsibility lies on your shoulder. So, what are your what are the best health measures that have been taken at your workplace?
So, as a construction company, we have been issued sort of guidelines from CEDA, which is the regulatory authority for construction companies. So, which are sort of two guidelines for the staff that are working in the head office, staff who are working at site level, and also staff who are working at home. I think all these three sets of or categories of staff required to follow certain guidelines. Even if you're working at home, because there are certain days you may be required to come to office. So you become a liability for other safety if you have not followed the safety precautions at home. So we have distributed safety guidelines to all these three levels, so that not only we protect ourselves but also each other.
Right. Okay. So, Mr. Mevan, thank you very much for joining with me today and sparing your precious time with me. So, once again, thank you. So, have a good day.
Yeah, it was a pleasure talking to you. Yeah, thank you.